Mr. Lynch, lives, or in life, or whatever. Good morning, Mr. Massimo, so simply, or 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 simply, and this is simply, this is the last month I'll say I showed you the photo of the 1979 years because like someone said it will be easy, it's a birthday, so much better me in January 20, simply David. Yesterday or not, it's December 22, 22nd, 2025, it's Monday evening, so yeah, totally cloudy. It's after a few days with beautiful blue skies. It's actually once again today totally cloudy, it's kind of sincere, wet very cloudy. Now it's the afternoon, 14 and 12 minutes. 16 liter Fahrenheit 16 Celsius, and this means it's really soft, like this is soft classic adjective used for the udal to spring periods, so it's a report of 4 SEO, as was in the fact that John was again June 17 of SEO, so fact where he overcome 4 years with the what's the last of past summer, if someone remember if they followed me, or as perhaps someone remember if they followed me during last past summer, I think, body. Also fact that we overcome, it's also fact that some many weeks ago we entered a new to now, in fact also for you to have rest with reports. It's not for the another season today, only for the spring, because for the spring and for still 3 years with reports, because today it's winter, and so also for the winter today I bet it's winter since yesterday, to be precise, on 16 and 3 minutes, and so since yesterday it's winter, and so also for the winter now it become a 4-year weather report, so as perhaps non remember, I think about it, I suppose indeed, I'm sure, I see the memory things the same, so si è similmente ma purpose, perché vi ho scelto voce, quindi aspettano per sparare così, I did no sui identical relations for the spring, summer, autumn, in fact for the spring, soon with adjective soft for the summer, the adjective hot for the autumn, once again the adjective soft, sono usate in general for the season, so it's a classic adjective, and as you get the English, at least me, questo fine sia più da absolutely incomplete, but as surely for no, today it's winter, so it's cold in general. If I see absolutely complaints for the fact that I feel cold less than other people, in fact we arrived at winter and I feel less cold than other people because thanks to a series of practice I do since some years, and perhaps as I read in past winter, past weather reports, winter weather reports past years, I write a comment, another comment under the video in which I explain what are these practices. So in case you are interested, see the comment section of the video. I don't know, in fact, I don't know for several people. I think obviously for normality difficult, for normality I think of yes, but in general I think difficult. In general, for me, in some way, also good. Instead, what has got also in general, I absolutely I can say something just for it's really better. Systems can be some machines nisam. Pingeri jafno, I think at repartitions. This repeats just before 16 Fahrenheit 16 Celsius. But important thing is the atmosphere, it's anticipated. So before we do this. Queste cortine, se non queste cortine in genere, se mi andiamo in sciù, siamo queste suppose, anche su un testo ripetere si dice totally what's the cloudy sky, according what I read in cinema sensations, according considering what I read in cinema sensations, I think it's I'm not sure that later at the beginning darker bleak and also at matrin from the few moments from later think or close we see let's see what happens but as we end up with intelligence wizards so see significantly yeah it's a kind of today review bad so series so series from meteor wind new white curtain the influence long flowers mix to new plants is new curtain since last the white vanguarding so the birth the terrible previous birth of the previous curtain the grey curtain beautiful painted benches the primo passage from the previous curtain fact to the new curtain and things I remember see read one of my comments under the video it should be a fruit to comment perhaps third the point in the comment one see one on the comments I'll read one in the comments and in the comment section on the video and I don't know if you're reading and see it well is curtain reading yeah, I think of yes, longer flower, green flowers, longer flowers mixed with turning plants. Or if not, surely better, even better, surely better from the shot practically is the first part of the video to which per usual I show to you the way the sky was fiangere from the window. Also from inside, practically is a shot similar to classic shot from more interest go for the curtain, previous curtain, grey curtain, beautiful painted benches, perhaps also for the first curtain, color the curtain, and even if I don't remember exactly this, surely color the curtain is still in cover image for the channel, as a every time one day I should change it, this shot also related to this fact buff when the recent, like shoot and also when the recent, but more when the recent, estimation, also you read a little speech of sentence, also in case I reduced for the curtain, previous curtain, and also in case perhaps for the first color the curtain, if in case I don't remember, and also in case I use it for this new curtain, sorry but I'll say 4 or 5 times, also in this case, yes, this, I'll say this little speech of sentence for this new curtain, this little speech of sentence is this, but also and always better visible for me in its entirety, during this shot, at this point, this mythical legend shot. En dat is eigenlijk niet goed, toen het visible, het not visible, not visible in the October, but sure to do not visible, in part set also do not visible, and I also this case also led also the special sentence that use for the curtain because it's so valid also for it, so I repeat once again, but also and always better visible for me its entirety. In this shot, at this point, it is mythical legend shot. And finally, from a mythical keyboard, a GX640 PG 625, also in this case is a mirror legend shot. Che siamo the people, follow the channel, person, essere critiche tu ero, non sono buone mi sister. Prima, sono myself, class Buskies, and finally, I hope you all have a great breakfast. It's late in general, also for my ass, fact when I say late, I mean for my ass, but the bowling part is yet is funny, for the average street was solved, in fact when breakfast, finta insieme late, è stato vita, ti finta ne parte a su destra, se finché regoli, se meno su street, su esercito, ho detto ripeto. Really close to Gallego, really to some else. And just all the objects just in quote 14 and 12 minutes. But the important thing to show CM is that inside me also the first one is Amelia. And as we always say, e che sono most business of water. Absolutely. So since the months it should be 1 year. Almost 1 year, I also lost the conditioning factory reason Friday, but repeat this should be done. Video I promise you at one time, so many time check better see you 1 day or one time, so many time check better see you visit or day which I start to sell these things from some short of since joke so I talk about Estonia, but some also new for inside biscuits are my favorite. In fact, there are many beautiful combos with the beautiful biscuits and see I think it's one of the kind of types of biscuits are chocolate chip cookies. chocolate chip cookies, or cookies with the chips, chocolate chips. And fatto mestico, ora lo so fatto biscuit, Mr. Lynch. Nothing particular. I think through the red and Reese. And I read these. The first one is about milk factors when you shot and telling it to coffee using but also quick shock and fact as for short fragment videos for shot and even if last I think 6 months 7 months yes non easy should be time videos I also see che lo sto conto sono in da per 3 review dopo questo more is quick se ti finisce now there is one thing is prohibit it once again it's I think 138, 39 days, as this should be 34, perhaps 140 days, this should be the time of the year, also so conto, yes on this, as on any time to put so since that moment, or that day, but insert it once again in the milk, so very good news. And within this also the fact that because breakfast, questo bomb, that's been in particular, mega bomb. I think this last video it's a joke because we're talking about most one year. So of course I'm living the first time so that video. And if in some way also it's a toll, Nicholas breakfast, always a mega bomb. Second thing is about siesta, and if Rabbi siesta la conad, Italian yes, mi sa sempre peso position. Questo video. Mi cosa? Attraverso peso position formire la pamma. Italian alza cosa? A tu come nel motivo because they are really super bad. Alzio, tomorrow suppose if you want to die. If I don't tomorrow, to do that. I'll see.